Hey guys, it's Aesha Shah, the friend, lover, host, and life coach. Today I'm talking about the history of Gujarat further, and it is a small daily bread of today. It's about Middle Kingdoms 230 BCE to 1206 CE. The Gupts and Maitraks. The Gupt Emperor Samudragupt defeated the Indo-Scythian rulers in battle and had then admitted their submission to him. Samudragupta's successor, Chandragupta II, finally conquered the western Kshatraps and occupied Gujarat. Chandragupta II assumed the title of Vikramaditya in celebration of his victory over the western Kshatraps. During the Gupta reign, villagers and peasants were put into forced labor by the Gupta army and officials. Towards the middle of the 5th century, the Gupta Empire started to decline. Senapati Bhattark, the Maitrak general of the Gupt, took advantage of the situation, and in 470 AD he set up what came to be known as the Maitrik state. He shifted his capital from Girinagar to Valbhipur near Bhavnagar on Saurashtra's east coast. Maitraks of Valpi became very powerful and their rule prevailed over large parts of Gujarat and even over adjoining Malwa. Maitraks set up a university which came to be known far and wide for its scholastic pursuits and was compared with the famous Nalanda University. It was during the rule of Drusena Maitrak that Chinese philosopher traveler Xuanzang visited in 648 AD. Gurjar Pratihar Empire. In the early 8th century, some part of Gujarat was ruled by the South Indian Chalukya dynasty. In the early 8th century, the Arabs of Umayyad Caliphate established an empire which stretched from Spain to the west to Afghanistan and Pakistan in the east. The Arab rulers tried to expand their empire in the 8th century and invaded Gujarat, but the Arab invaders were defeated by the Chalukya general Pulakeshin. After this victory, the Arab invaders were driven out of Gujarat. Pulakeshin received the title Avni Jan Shrai, Refuge of the People of the Earth, by Vikramaditya II for the protection of Gujarat. In the late 8th century, the Kannauj Triangle period started. The three major Indian dynasties, the Northwest Indian Gurjar Pratihar dynasty, the South Indian Rashtrakud dynasty, and the East Indian Pal Empire, dominated India from the 8th to 10th century. During this period, the northern part of Gujarat was ruled by the North Indian Gurjar Pratihar dynasty, and the southern part of Gujarat was ruled by the South Indian Rashtrakud dynasty. Southern dynasty until it was captured by the South Indian ruler Tailap II of the Western Chalukya Empire. Chalukya Kingdom. The Chalukya dynasty ruled Gujarat from 960 C to 1243. Gujarat was a major center of Indian Ocean trade. Gujarat was a major center of Indian Ocean trade, and their capital at Anhilwar was one of the largest cities in India, with population estimated at 100,000 in the year 1000. In 1026th year, the famous Somnath temple in Gujarat was destroyed by Mahmud of Ghazni. After 1243, the Chalukyas lost control of Gujarat to their feudatories, of whom the Waghela chiefs of Dholka came to dominate Gujarat. In 1292, the Waghelas became tributaries of the Yadav dynasty of Devagiri in the Deccan. Karna of the Waghela dynasty was the last Hindu ruler of Gujarat. He was defeated and overthrown by the superior forces of Alauddin Khalji from Delhi in 1297. With his defeat, Gujarat not only became part of the Mughal Empire, but the Rajput hold over Gujarat lasted forever. Late medieval period 1206 to 1526 BC CE. Delhi Sultanate 1298-1407 CE. Before 13th, Muslims had little presence in Gujarat. The occasional was mainly either as seafarers or traders coming from Arabian Sea. They were allowed to establish two small settlements in Cambay, now Khambat, and Bharuch. Gujarat finally fell under Delhi Sultanate following repeated expeditions under Alauddin Khalji around the end of the 13th century. He ended the rule of Waghela dynasty under Karna II and established Muslim rule in Gujarat. Soon the Tughlaq dynasty came to power in Delhi, whose emperor carried out expeditions to quell rebellion in Gujarat and established their firm control over the region by the end of the 14th century. Gujarat Sultanate 1407 to 1535 CE. Following Timur's invasion of Delhi, the Delhi Sultanate weakened considerably, so the last Tughlaq governor, Zafar Khan, declared himself independent in 1407 and formally established Gujarat Sultanate. The next Sultan, his grandson Ahmad Shah I, founded the new capital Ahmedabad in 1411. The prosperity of the Sultanate reached its zenith during the rule of Muhammad Beghat. He subdued most of the Rajput chieftains and built navy off the coast of Div. In 1509, the Portuguese wrested Div from Gujarat Sultanate following the Battle of Div in 1509. In 1520, Rana Sanga of Mewar invaded Gujarat with his powerful Rajput confederacy of 52,000 Rajputs, supported by his three vassals. Rao Gang, Rathor of Marwar, to join him with a garrison of 8,000 Rajputs. Other allies of Rana were Rao Uday Singh of Vaigad and Rao Vikram Dev of Mehta. He defeated the Muslim army of Nizam Khan and chased them up to Ahmedabad. Sanga called of his invasion 20 miles before of capital Ahmedabad. He plundered down the royal treasuries of Gujarat and destroyed several mosques and built temples over them. Sanga successfully annexed northern Gujarat and appointed one of his vassals to rule there. Mughal Emperor Humayun attacked Gujarat in 1535, and thereafter Bahadur Shah was killed by the Portuguese while making a deal in 1537. The decline of the Sultanate started with the assassination of Sikandar Shah in 1526. The end of the Sultanate came in 1573 when Akbar annexed Gujarat in his empire. The last ruler, Muzaffar Shah III, was taken prisoner to Agra. In 1583, he escaped from the prison and with the help of nobles succeeded to regain the throne for a short period before being defeated by Akbar's general Abdul Rahim Khan first Khan. Okay guys, this amazing history of Gujarat story ends here. I will continue further next time. I mean